Hello and welcome back to ICS Cyber Talks podcast. And today I have over here Alex from IoT 365. This is a follow-up podcast. We are doing follow-ups on startups in Israel that are very interesting for me at least. And I'm sure that you would enjoy it as well. Hello, Alex.
Hello, Nachshon. How are you doing?
Fine. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Alex, I would let you present yourself. This is something that I decided that I'm not doing anymore.
Okay.
So it's your work.
Thanks.
So please do.
Alex, CEO of IoT 365. Actually, that's all. Shortly. And
Some history. Come on. You are coming from somewhere. You were doing a lot of positions in your career.
Yes. So I finished my last job in Silicon, Nasdaq-based company, 16 years, closing the gap between delivery and IT and IS and cybersecurity. So that's actually the source where I detected that we have a huge problem worldwide to close the gap between OT and IT teams like security. And OT security is very delayed about the solutions worldwide. And till now, before I come to the worldwide solutions in the OT cyber protection world, that's a very, very bad state that you should have detection separate solution like IDS and SIEM, and somebody needs to close the gaps, some human resources deployment team, and the investigation once you have some problem and connection to the IT SIEM that's not actually working perfectly in real time, or very fast AI-generated cyber attacks. On the top of that, there's a different worlds. So once I detected such huge problems in the area, in the manufacturing, so I understood that no solution all-in-one existing, like Trend Micro, McAfee, antivirus, you are installing, everything is okay. So OT world, you cannot install nothing because it's critical infrastructure, and you cannot react in real time. You should only understand what you should plan and how the best way to make some continuous.
So you jump already to the cold water, but let's start with reminding everybody about your solution, and from there we would go over all the changes that you made in the last 6 months, which is phenomenal for me.
Yes, absolutely.
So what is the solution? What is IoT 365?
So, okay, generally speaking, I built my solution to be very fast and transparent for deployment and detection. So that's two processes that should be all in one platform. That's how I imagined it before I started my startup. And what we succeed to do and to deploy in few countries now. So we succeed to have some unique deployment sensor, smart sensor, that's not dependent on hardware. So we are working with some containers with new software tools, and we are able to support ARM, x86 platform as well. And that's plug and play, that's 2 ports. So you are only connecting to OT switch, and you are actually only getting the traffic, okay, without connecting to the operation technology, without disturb them. And the second port, the separate port in our sensor, that's coming with encrypted traffic and actually uploading that to our instance in the Azure, AWS, private cloud, or even we can do deployment in the physical infrastructure for few sectors per requirements. But actually, I can define that we are first worldwide software as a service platform, delivered all-in-one solution, fast deployment. In 1 day, you can see the traffic, and in 2 days, you can learn your traffic by machine learning integration with the NVIDIA Morpheus DFP machine learning model. And what is very, very interesting, that's in the end of the story, once we are detecting the threats, we have AI-generated playbooks. So by pressing button, you can get exact NIST-2 standard playbook, what you should do, what you suspect to do regarding the detected threat. So nobody did that before. So we have all-in-one solution, including detection, deployment, and response, and our SIEM that's integrated, OT SIEM that's known to provide and to close the gap between cyber protection, cyber security team, SOC team, and operation technology guys. It's not interesting to get all the data from the regular SIEM regarding DDoS attack, 1,000 events. So they're ignoring that. They're absolutely ignoring that. So in our SIEM, we have a module for IDS, for protocols, concentrating very, very strong on the real-time threat detection. And actually, I can say that that's working very good. And I can say that now we are in the good problem that we are increasing our team very, very fast because we have potentially few orders worldwide from LATAM, from United States. And now we are preparing here to provide good capacity and to support all the potential prospects and not to disappoint any company worldwide. So our mission to protect the world from cyber attacks, AI-generated cyber attacks with AI tools. So that's...
So you are in the right place in the right time because all the idea of AI attacks it's quite new. Actually, we didn't see it yet really in work, but it would come and all of us are sure about it. I would like to go over the modules that you have in the system. Okay. Last time we were talking, it was a module that is sitting on the network, on the OT network, and is doing mapping, is doing all checking of the traffic and SCADAs. Okay? And of course, it was, if I'm not wrong, it was even on-prem. It wasn't in the cloud.
That was both. No, that was in cloud, but we actually concentrated. We started to concentrate on IoT things, and we jumped to the critical infrastructure because the support issue. So handling 1,000 branches in the United States, you cannot...
Yeah. Now, as we are talking almost twice a week, and each time that I'm talking with you, I have a new model.
Yes.
Which is unbelievable. Let's go over them, okay? So, you have the SIEM, you have the IDS.
Yes.
This is nice. Everybody has that.
All in
not in one system, but everybody has it. So they're buying two systems.
Yes, but that's OT SIEM. That can say that's OT SIEM. That's a difference that we can integrate in the global IT SIEM. So once people today generally speaking about the SIEM, so they are talking about security incident event management relevant to IT system. Where is the problem with the OT protocols? So they're starting to add Modbus or Profinet or few protocols, but you have much more protocols, and that's a huge problem. So once you're not detecting the protocols and cyber attacks coming in these protocols, so that's critical for OT guys. So that's a huge problem. And now we are closing the gap. So that's OT SIEM that can be integrated in the global SIEM. So actually, that's not only SIEM in the system, that's something that's showing your traffic, showing you all messages. So that's a few models. Like I talked before, that's universal deployment with our smart sensors. That's IDS, supporting up to 25 protocols, and we're able to add protocols in few days with our dedicated team for OT protocols. That's researchers that know how to do that. Mm-hmm. That's my point. That's why I'm pushing forward with this. And after that, we are going to the SIEM to show what's the detected messages. So in our system, you're able to see in real time threat detection and all the packets transferring into readable message. So you can actually to save that aside for half a year, for investigation, for compliance, for investigation also. And we have, at the end of the story, once you have detected incidents, you can play only some button and you are getting a playbook, AI-generated playbook that's actually make here game changing. Why? Because the close solution like Dragos, Armis, Nozomi, they have some analysis that's as human resources, so you can send something that's all the traffic, not all the traffic, all the messages, no. Manually, they're trying to investigate it. So we are bringing to the world new, effective solution and independently work for the OT guys, guys.
So
that's
when you're saying playbook, the meaning is that you are giving to the user all the instructions to take care of the problem. This is the playbook that you are talking about?
Yes, we have actually, as I talk, few stages. First stage is you have raw traffic, okay? We are transferring that to the readable message for our system with unique patent agentless SIEM. And after that, we are analyzing that with few models like AI-generated model that's and machine learning with NVIDIA. If we are not detecting AI-generated attack or something like that. And once we are coming to the detected incidents, you are only, firstly, you have a color of the severity, like red, blue, or orange. That's something middle.
Yeah.
And you should only to press the button on the incident. You can see inside what's the type of incident to read it before you're pressing button on the playbook. And you can see the source of cyber attack, like some hacker's machine. You can see the target or PLC or whatever, or SCADA, whatever you have in your OT systems. And once you're pressing the playbook button, so that's coming to our AI-generated engine. And we actually, that's considering all the relevant messages, it's like IP addresses, all the procedure according NIST 2 standards. So we are actually making here some clever movements that know to show you it's very fast and effectively. So you're cutting here time to go, to investigate it, to send to somebody, to wait to somebody, because you should react immediately once you see some incident in your system. And we are also reducing false positives. That's additional very strong, powerful function that we are reducing with NVIDIA AI movement. So, for example, you have DDoS attack with 1,000 events, 1,000 pings. So in our system, you can see one ping. So in the different system, you can check how this how this works.
Okay. Now, one of the things that you added to your system since we talked last time was mapping of the infrastructure of the OT. The second thing is, if I record right, it's the digital twin.
Yes, correct.
So let's go into that. Well, mapping, it's okay. Mapping, it's reasonable, and I think that everybody needs that.
Yes.
Because when you are coming to a new place, usually, and I have it more than once, that nobody really knows what they have. Because if it's a factory of 20 years and the oldest guy is working over there 12 years, there is a gap of 8 years of knowledge. So he knows the big parts, the parts that you are taking care all the time, but still it can be that you have some other connections and things that you don't know about it. So this is okay. Where the digital twin is coming in?
A good question. Actually, you touched some points that I'm actually don't know if that's good for market or not good for market. That's my view. That's innovative view on the cyber protection, operation technology, industrial control system world. So I'm speaking about delegate the tools to be more effectively in the operation technology world. Why I'm talking about that? Because the existing solution trying to do the same things and to compete with each other, and at the end of the day providing very similar solutions, similar complicated architectures that you should have big sensors, very, very long deployment, servers in the middle like site servers gathering the data. After that you should convert that to the global server. That's it's the best case sitting in the cloud. There's by the way, the big company started to go where I talked with you in the summer. Now, Dragos, we are in the AWS. So that's actually my view, to have separate solutions. For example, the inventory assets, that's a long story, okay? Inventory assets, Clarity comes, Dragos comes, Aramis comes, Nozomi comes to the area and starting to sit there, a long process, and they're not covering that 100%. You know that because sometimes you have encrypted operation system in the SAM controller that was proceeded 20 years ago. So only to decrypt that can take years.
Yeah.
And why I'm saying that, and digital twins actually answering the issue with a very, very close copy to the cloud, and that's actually provide me very strong sales movement, and to bring the very clear demonstration how things working, how our platform works. You don't know. So what I'm showing oil, gas, digital twins, or water desalination digital twins, or smart building, or whatever. And after that, we can simulate the cyber attack. So we develop cyber attack simulator as well. That's additional tools that we developed in a short period of time. And once we are simulating the cyber attacks, like OT cyber attacks by Modbus protocol or different protocol, and we are detecting that in real time in our solution, that's making the sales much more effectively. And on the top of that, I can actually copy your on-prem infrastructure to the cloud. And why that's good? Firstly, we can actually demonstrate to raise awareness from the cyber attacks and without touch, without interactive with your critical infrastructure. And you should upgrade some critical devices like PLC, virtual PLC. Today, Siemens, Hitachi.
Everybody is starting working with the open PLC.
Yeah, that's great. So once you are making some not good, bad update, so you're not impacting your critical infrastructure in real time. So that's the sense. And we
so
able to
can I take a new firmware and do lab checks in your digital twin?
Not only mine. That's depending what the manufacturing of the particular PLC, for example, or different.
Let's
component.
say that Siemens
PLC.
Yeah, Siemens 9000 something. Okay.
The new serial.
Yeah. There is a new firmware with that is correcting some vulnerabilities. Okay, and I want to check it before I'm putting it into my system. So I can do that through your system.
So that's a very, very complicated solution. That's not something that I'm building and I'm ready. So I'm coming from scratch. I'm only providing the ability to build digital twins. So I'm coming to the site and I need to know your architecture and topology. For example, you have 10 OT devices and one PLC controller, all of them almost in a good state, not 30 years before you know that we can actually migrate them to the digital twins and to simulate both protocols, OT protocols that's existing virtually and operation system inside like PLC or SCADA, whatever, and that's supported by the Siemens should support that. Once that's existing, yes, we are upgrading your PLC or whatever device firmwares, see that all the traffic is clean, we can simulate the cyber attack, and you can see that's before. That's actually before in digital twins. We are getting some threats and we see that's actually making problems. So we can send some command like write coil 0 and we can damage your systems virtually. And after firmware update, you can see that I cannot write this because it's blocked or it's encrypted or something like that. So yes, absolutely. But that's actually not something like plug and play deployment. By the way, we developed in the area, in the LATAM, fast risk OT OT risk assessment, new tool, new service, but it's actually concentrated on real-time threat detection and real-time discovery, network discovery devices. And you can see that's in red points. So sometimes you can see that the OT switch actually connected to the regular IT networking, and you can see many, many red points. So the owner of the place starting, what is this? What is this? Yes, I want the solutions. I want this permanently, not only one time. But we are not going to discover all the assets in the play because that's taking too time. So I'm concentrating on the fast and real-time threat detection. I am saying that all relevant persons must know, even not should, must know what's happening in their critical infrastructure. And we are very far from this worldwide. That's not happening still, but that's starting to move faster than that was even this summer. And after all the wars, it's starting to work very, very aggressively, and we are receiving many, many
One of
requests.
the things that we know is that a lot of companies are buying IDSs, they are buying a lot of, let's say, technologies. In the end of the day, no one is looking at that. And I have hundreds of those. You know, they bought it, and then you discover that the console is sitting in a closed room, and someone is coming 1 in 2 weeks, and he's looking at that. Now, I love the idea that it's on the cloud, and then it's easier to go to that. The question is, and you gave part of the answer by the idea that AI is dissolving a lot of issues. But still, how do you make it more workable? Because if I'm looking at a factory, the only part that is working 24/7 is the manufacturing. And usually there is the control. Those people are not cyber people. Okay, they are guys that know OT quite well, but for them, it's to make sure that the line is working well, not the cyber. Okay,
Exactly.
Now, if I would take your screen, okay, your console, and I would put them as another screen in their wall, what can I give them that they understand that right now there is an issue? Okay, because a lot of issues or a lot of problems, the first step is to understand if it's coming from the operational side or from the cyber side. Okay, a lot of times you would get an alarm and actually it's not cyber, it's something that it's on the operational side. So how you work with that?
Okay, that's a great question. That's our differentiation.
All my questions are great.
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, I'm detecting, as I told before, widest range of the OT protocols. So first thing, they can see Siemens protocol immediately in the dashboard of protocols. So that's something that you cannot see today in any tool. First of all, secondary, they can see network discovery map immediately, red points, it's unauthorized device, some guy connected from IT, even SOC team, to their factory. They don't want that. That's very, very big problem. That's even, some hackers sitting there 1 month or 2 months, that's happening. So they can see, detect that it immediately. And the powerful tools, as I told again, I told before, and I'm talking about that again, that's incident response relevant for operation technology. So they can see false positive reduction immediately, and only pressing button and giving the clear instruction what you should do, what you're supposed to do to protect your OT world. So that's a good portfolio.
Can you identify if it's coming from the operational side or from a cyber side?
Yes, I can say that operation technology guys will see that immediately about the protocols, about the recommendations. That's incident response recommendation directed to the NIST to NIST standard for the operation technology team. So on the top of that, they can read the write registry, read registry, coils. They can see specific command that's coming into the traffic that you cannot get that from
So
IT
you're talking
traffic.
in their language.
Yes, I'm talking with OT language to OT guys by OT protocols.
Great.
With OT incident response recommendations.
One of the things that, and actually in the last couple of months, I saw it more and more, is that after you install systems, you have to do a lot of work to reduce the false alarm, the false positive. And as you said before, you're doing that in another way with AI and some other ways. But the question is, let's say it in this way. If I would take right now IDS, doesn't matter what IDS, and I would take a SIEM system, okay? And I will let them start working probably to reduce the false alarm and to get it in a good shape. It would take me a couple of hundred of hours. And this is something that I'm saying for sure.
SOC 1 level, yes. You are talking about SOC 1 level in the regular SOC team. IT teams are sitting and trying to investigate it and investing huge resources, human resources there. That's actually our strong point, that we are reducing that automatically. So, for example, you can get 1,000 pings in few minutes, and you can get only 1 or 2 detected incidents. So
if you would get information, let's say that I want to take information from the logs of the windows of the HMI, okay, and to export it to you as a syslog, whatever, okay, and connect even the antivirus, okay, and also give it to you as a syslog. And then what you are gathering together from the system, you know how to process it and to say, well, this one, they are all the same, and you would give me only one threat, one alarm. Did I understand it well?
Yes, I understood your question very well, and I can say that's a complicated answer, because generally, yes, absolutely, we did proof of concept, and we support even a zero-level sensors that's concentrated their syslog operation technology commands in some servers that provide our syslog, and we can actually work as input, not only syslog, JSON format, API format, and as I told before, we can actually transfer also with syslog. But I'm talking very transparency with customer. When I'm getting some syslog that's missing data inside, so we have some problem. Okay, so I cannot show you that's like I am connecting directly to the mirroring port and getting.
Yeah, of course.
Traffic. But once you are providing me some syslog that's including false positive level noise, I am reducing this as well. And we have some unique platform. Our uniqueness is agility. So we have agile solution, and we have few inputs, and we can choose each device what is the source we are actually providing to show the data and to analyze it and to show you on the beautiful screen. So inside we have definitions that even OT guys can choose the, for example, sensors coming from some servers that's providing this from syslog. So source is server, not our traffic. So we have tab that's originally traffic like mirroring port.
Yeah, of course.
And you can add how many devices you want, how many syslog you want, but we need only to add the ports. For example, we will come not 2 ports, 3 ports, 4 ports, that's all. When you have more inputs, so we come with more ports.
Yeah, because when you're talking about SIEM, a regular SIEM system, QRadar, Splunk, okay? The main issue is to give them as much information as I can, to connect them to as much information that I can. Okay, so it would be good to connect them, as I said before, to some kind of EDR, okay, if you have that, to get information from the servers, okay, even operating system of the servers. And after that, I don't think that we are going into application because this is already out of the infrastructure.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
But if someone is trying to attack my operating system, I would get, this is something that Windows know to say, I have it in my log, someone who's doing a change, and I am sending this change to you. Okay. So the question is, if really you can have lot of sources, like I have in a SIEM right now. Okay, QRadar, I can connect a lot of sources, and he would give me, let's say, a magnified picture. Is it working in your size as well?
I can say that we are working and concentrating on operation technology sector, and we are good there. And I must say that we must check our solution in big infrastructure with 1,000 devices, like computers, Windows, Linux, operation systems. That's a different story. So
yeah, but every OT has his own IT.
Yes, but once we are talking about close OT environment, and you have, for example, 10 workstations, that we are able to do that. So we see that we can analyze these logs, everything. When we are talking about 1,000 devices, it's like Windows, that's something not a real story.
I don't think that
so
we are
once you're talking about proportion,
so many.
About proportion and real production, yes, absolutely, we are supporting that. We are not going to say you that you have Windows 10 or Windows 11. That's not a story. But we can see that somebody connected with Windows, somebody trying to attack, even encrypted cyber attacks. We did here in some lab here in Israel. It's not so often to say. But yes, even encrypted cyber attacks on the some devices, it's IT devices. Absolutely, we are detecting that. But again, that's not concentrating to be in the IT infrastructure. That's not our mission. We are very, very focusing. And that, by the way, my philosophy to be focusing to be the best in the specific area, not to run on all the scenarios and all the sectors. So I'm concentrating on the real-time threat detection, operation technology, industrial control system, IoT devices as well. So that's a specific traffic, the specific behavior. And absolutely, yes. And once we have even much more devices, we can actually convert this to syslog with some server and to get the direct data from the server, like separate input and to work with this. So we have solutions, but...
So I would say it what you didn't say, okay? You were tested in the Israeli National Cyber Lab with very complex attacks, okay? And I heard it from you, and I heard it from them, okay? And you got a very high score. You found everything, even if it was very complex and it was some kind of a lot of attacks, different attacks that came in one time. Yes. And they were, I can tell you from their side, they were very impressed. Now, let's go and talk about enterprises, okay? Because enterprise, it's not one factory. It's one factory here, another one in the Netherlands, another one in the UK, another one in the US, and another one in Latin. Now, this is an issue because you have two ways of dealing with that. One way, it's for each one to work by himself, okay? And the other way, it's to get one SOC that would see all of them. Now, are you prepared for that? Can you give it? So if I have two factories that are working with the same IPs, okay, the same addresses, one in Latin, one in Israel, and you will get this information. Can you separate? Can you say this is coming from here, this is coming from here?
Yes, I can say yes, absolutely. And we have something now to sign with some SOC team, because I am not again concentrating to build SOC team. So
yeah, of course. No, but I'm talking about you're giving tools for a SOC.
Exactly, and we can actually build now. Once you are buying, we have also actually even a channel in our sales prospect, that once you are MSSP and you're purchasing 1,000 licenses, so you are getting centralized management tool for free and digital twin for free to show, to demonstrate the solution. Why I'm talking about that exactly?
You should do it the other way around. Take money for this and give the other thing for free. But okay.
Yes, exactly. But what can I say, that we are very strong and powerful in our distribution system. That's our philosophy, that's our architecture. So we flat SaaS solution, so you can deploy our sensor worldwide, and we are supporting up to 10 million events per second. That's nobody provides such a thing. So it's the exact point of and problem of overloading the regular SIEM that's starting to fail on 20 events per second, 20,000 events per second.
So by knowing from which collector or which sensor of yours that is coming to the SIEM, you know to say from where it came.
Yes, because let's speak about the simple architecture. You have two ports. One port that's mirroring port that's connecting to your OT switch, so all the data come to me. But one port that's a different port, so I am detecting that's a different source.
Yeah,
and that's coming direct to my head. So, like you're eating something, salads with pizza or something like that. So I know that I'm getting the data from the different sources, and that should be 10 sources, 100 sources, as depending, okay? But you can provide that. And I'm bringing that to the SOC team at the end of the day, and I can actually package that into the beautiful centralized management, so you are pressing only the sites and you can see everything.
I can tell you that I wouldn't go into the name of the customer, but I was working with a customer that had about 25,000 assets in the OT I'm talking, which can be RTUs, it can be PLC, can be HMI, but it's enormous, and also is very wide installed, okay, all over. And they were putting an IDS, okay, on the top. So, like if I have a site that is connected to a control, connected to another control, and only that connected to the center, they put the IDS in the center. And what we got was a total mess. A total mess, because it might be that in different geographic location, we had the same addresses, the same IP addresses, and the system couldn't understand if it's coming from the south or from the north or from where it's coming. And this is an issue that I saw with my own eyes, okay? You are opening the map and you see blah, 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 blah. Now, I believe that with the way that you are working, by putting in every junction.
Exactly. Every switch, every operation technology switch, once you want to get the full puzzle, you should deploy our solution. That's the reason that we investigated it very deep before starting go to the space, and we developed very small sensors. That's unique. Okay, so you can deploy this very fast. So you're coming to all the switches. And you can send that by the package. Today I have QR code. You are reading QR code. Only read you have some internet, separate networking, put diode, even unidirectional, encryption inside, and one port to go to the mirroring port to actually to define that correctly. That's all requirements. So you need only power, So that's very, very effectively. So
okay, now let's go to my biggest concern. My biggest concern, it's called the cloud.
Okay.
It's not because I don't love a cloud. I love the cloud very much. I had 2 startups that were dealing with the cloud, so it's fine. But the traditional thinking right now, probably it would change with time, it's changing with the Industry 4.0 and everything, is that the cloud is enemy to the OT. And now there is a nice guy, which is called Alex, and he's coming and saying, okay, I'm in the cloud. Now, to get the information, I'm sending your information to the cloud. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about security. Let's talk about if we have over here anything to really concern, or this is something, I'm sure that you were thinking about it. I'm sure that you were taking care of things, but let's understand how you protect me as a customer from a leak of this transformation. No, man in the middle, copy of addresses. There is a lot of them.
Yes, excellent question. And I can explain a little bit more to understand why we're very, very safe about this issue. So I will speak about the vulnerabilities in our solution, potential vulnerabilities, and to speak about worst cases. I'm actually regular to work decades. I'm speaking always about the worst case and how to resolve and what is the worst case. So let's start from operation technology, critical infrastructure. That's actually, I'm not touching there. I even have ISO standard speaking about cybersecurity. Okay, I'm not touching OT.
At all.
At all. So that's only mirroring, put diode before providing me with data. Okay, this port is actually okay because we cannot do nothing with it even without IP.
Of course.
That's only getting the data. Here we are okay. The second port that we are starting to talk about the transitions, the data. So here we have actually very good algorithm inside that now we are deploying in our solution. Before that was VPN, and now we are stopped, and we encrypted that before sending to the AWS. Why is that? Because we want to make that only one direction, only uploading to the cloud, only AWS.
Well, the VPN, you need 2 legs.
Yes, VPN, I need dialing, and dialing, that's making problems. So I'm actually encrypting your data. So from your factory, that's coming with encrypted mode. And even more of them, we started to work with the big MSSP. We signed with them, and they required what is type of the encryption. So that should be certified encryption by DoD. So,
of course.
So that's not something open source or something like that. So that's certified encryption. That's critical infrastructure regularly working with this. And after we are encrypting that, we are coming to the AWS and decrypting the data and inserting it in our engine again in our head. So you are full protected. In the worst case, even when somebody somehow cracking your device, for example, so they cannot come to your OT environment. As they should hack all the encrypted data. So that's something that's even I can say the on-prem solution is much easier to crack.
So you were thinking about everything, almost.
I'm
everything.
trying. I can say you that I'm the gap closer in the company. So I'm going to the deployments. I like to go to deployments at customer site. Why? Because I want to see how technician feels in the area, and I'm improving. I had some deployments that something didn't work good, so now that's bringing me the the reason to improve something, to make the behavior in IoT 365 very comfortable for my employees. So I don't want to make difficult and complicated life to my employees. So employees should enjoy in our company. They're coming to work with the innovative solutions and not to deal with something that doesn't work. So my vision is when your employees enjoy in all the sectors, so your customers will enjoy also. And my position to come to all the areas in my company, to sit on the share a little bit of each employee to understand how he feels daily, to improve not only our internal team and atmosphere, and also to improve the delivery to the customers and support the customers. So that's all in one. So that's my vision on the organizations.
Regarding the idea of support, so you're supporting 24/7?
Yes, we can provide it for the money, no problem. We have such services. Now we are raising our SOC team with my partner in the LATAM. We have already signed a SOC team also in LATAM, but actually we have support worldwide, like you said.
Let's give his name so he would be happy when he hear this podcast. We are talking about Joe.
Yes.
We wouldn't go into his last name,
yes.
But for him, here is a smile on the face.
Yes, very strong partner, reliable friend, very, very.
I want to know what you understand from your POCs, because you made quite a couple of POCs already on site with real equipment, and I know that some of them you find magnificent things, like the customer was in shock because he was sure that he is in another place.
Yes.
So tell us about it.
Yes,
without names, of course.
Okay, so we touch on the critical infrastructure, oil, gas, pharma, packaging, manufacturing. Now we are talking about big MSSPs that we come to the lab. And the last deployment we did in the France, in the one of the biggest engine manufacturing in the Europe, with some person. So that was targeted. So we started with his personal lab. So that was amazing, because the last deployment I did not for know my innovative solution, how that works. I wanted to check delivery without arriving, because it was end of the year, and I want this solution at my lab, as it was first deployment in Europe Union. And I know that Europe Union must be compliant till October 24, so I'm seeing potential there, and I'm actually planning to open R&D center in Germany, and to cover all the Europe Union, to have some hubs there, like we have, by the way, hub in Miami, manufacturing, that's working with the LATAM and working with the United States. So I'm thinking about the support. That's my weak point, because it's costly to my pockets.
Yeah, of course.
I believe that must be done before we are going forward to the customer. So in Europe Union, that was amazing, because we actually sent from Amazon some device, full empty. Ask some guys that I know from Germany, that's our employees, that's actually pre-configured the sensor, sends it to our integrator in France. And in 1 day, once he connected the sensor and defined that we asked him to define, he sees the traffic, everything. So that was amazing. So I didn't, I did everything from my home. only management. So that's amazing. And sometimes you come in one of the deployments that I come, and that was some issue with connection. So I recognize that we should make some encryption inside, for example, and to improve our solution. So I stopped deployments at all customer sites. I stopped because some guys now pushing me forward, even delayed my trip to United States in Latam. I want to change that because I don't want the technical guys or somebody will feel not so comfortable because the solution working very well. But once you don't connect fast and effectively, that's something not so. So I started with a good place and I started with the first POC successful. So that was very, that, like in the sport.
Yeah, it's giving a lot of power and a lot of, drive to go on.
So I get good reference, and now once I'm feeling that we have some delayed, that's not coming in 20 minutes, that's coming in 2-3 hours. So I'm trying to understand how to improve that. So that's my vision, to have fast deployment. That's some joke because I'm now trying to send. I started to send to all the LinkedIn messages that we can do the fast OT risk assessment in half hour. Nobody come to me because that's.
Yeah, it sounds a bit fishy.
That's like that's so. So good, so it's not true,
Yeah.
And after that, I changed it to 3 weeks. Why 1 week you are actually deploying my tab, speaking with me how to deploy, how not deploy, how to open the box. The next week we are explaining what we can explain, what we detected, and third week we are speaking about the strategy, how to make deployment in all the sites, or how to deploy and to cover all the devices. But actually, that's funny. That's a board is not ready for the fast solution. So they're regular to have 3 months, half year deployment, and that's happening.
You need to remember that we are dealing with OT.
Yes.
We're dealing with OT guys. Everything should go step by step to make sure that everything is working well. The fast solutions are...
they're afraid from that.
Yeah, but it's okay. Alex, we came to the end. So before we say goodbye, where they can find you? If someone is listening right now to this podcast and say, well, this is interesting, how we can come to you?
Okay, so we have our website. We have a message to sales IoT 365. That's the best way.
So it's IoT 365?
Yes, IoT365.io. That's our website. I'm actually existing in the LinkedIn, so that's very easy to come to me. I'm trying to answer to all the messages on the LinkedIn. Sometimes that's now can take 1 day, not 1 hour. That was at start of my career, so I'm not jumping now on all the, that's, I don't want to say, but somebody called me now and I'm afraid that don't ask me to deploy this now. Give me the time to build the team. So
look, you are a startup and I believe that you're doing a tremendous work since you started, and especially in the last 6 months. I love startups. This is the reason that you are over here. And I have 2 startups that I'm, let's say, I'm combining them because I really love the people. I love the solution. You are one of them. The other one is Salvador. And I can hope only for you that you would raise the needed money as Salvador was doing. Hamza. And I think you're on the right way. I really think so. And as much you would go on, I'm sure that you would find more things that you need to take care. But right now, if I'm looking about a system, which is really 365, okay? Probably it's the only solution that I know that is coming from one box.
Yes.
And probably with less deployment than starting working with some components, even if they have API between them, still it's a lot of work. Alex, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Nachron. Thank you. Thank you for a podcast.
Welcome.